Professor, o senhor diz que numa democracia o perdedor deve se retirar quando perde. Mas, conversando com todo o seu discurso no A Tirania do Mérito, numa sociedade meritocrática como tem sido o desenvolvimento das nossas sociedades nos últimos anos, o senhor fala muito sobre esse sentimento dos vitoriosos de que mereceram aquele lugar e, consequentemente, o sentimento de que os perdedores são responsáveis pelo próprio fracasso e como isso causa a erosão do tecido social. Se você se sente perdedor, e você lida com o fato de que, aos olhos dos vencedores, você é um fracasso e a culpa é sua, um meio muito interessante de movimentar essas pessoas é oferecendo para elas alguém a quem culpar. Então, você pode dizer que foi uma conspiração, que a eleição foi roubada, que as coisas não funcionaram, que, na verdade, a elite está contra você. E aí você tem um significado novo para esses perdedores que não conseguem ver a retirada após a derrota como algo que deve ser feito, mas a resistência contra algo que foi fraudado como uma ação necessária. E, ao mesmo tempo, de outro lado, você tem lideranças políticas que não conseguem estabelecer um diálogo com essas pessoas que se sentem perdedoras, para que a gente possa, no futuro, ter uma sociedade com um espaço de debate mais amplo. Então, como sair dessa cilada?
What you're raising, Gabriela, is a third level of the erosion of democratic norms that we were discussing a moment ago. The minimal definition of democracy is that the losers leave when they lose. But there is a broader problem, which you're pointing to, and what I discuss in the tyranny of merit. I think those of us who abhor what we see with attacks on the Capitol, and with large proportions of the population here in the United States at least, continue to believe Trump's lies that he actually won the election. The majority of the Republican Party believes that. But that means it's irresponsible on their part, but that's not enough to notice. I think those of us who worry about the future of democracy have to ask, what was it about mainstream progressive politics, mainstream politics of the center-right and the center-left, over the past 4 decades that opened the way to the kind of anger and resentment, even humiliation, among large portions, especially of working people, and those without academic credentials, that they would be open to the appeals and believe, ultimately, the lies that Trump told them. I think that it's not enough for those of us on the progressive side of politics or who worry about democratic norms to wag our finger at the irresponsibility of Trump and his followers. We have to reflect critically on what it was about the way mainstream center-left and center-right parties governed for 4 decades that deepened the divide between winners and losers. The winners of globalization, the top 20% or so, reaped almost all of the benefits. Inequalities widened, but not only economic inequalities, also the sense, as you were pointing out, among the successful, that those who landed on top deserved their success, that their success was their own doing, and that they therefore deserved the full bounty the market bestowed upon them. And by implication, that those who were left out by the era of neoliberal globalization, that they deserved their fate as well. It's no wonder that this led to anger and resentment, especially among those without a university education. It's no accident that after one of his primary election victories, Donald Trump said, "I love the poorly educated." Now, the credentialed elites laughed at that. But I think instead of laughing, we need to ask, what were our failures in the way neoliberal globalization was managed, creating this divide that gave rise to the resentments that now have been exploited by those who are eroding democratic norms. And that hasn't really happened yet. Part of what I was trying to do in the book in the book The Tyranny of Merit was to invite a certain critical reflection on the part of mainstream parties and politicians and academic elites and media elites into the role that our policies, the neoliberal globalization